Okay, great. We can start. Let's connect inwards. Let's connect to our breath and start with what we call a balloon breathing. When bringing the awareness to the whole body, and we're visualizing as if the breath widens the whole body. Inhaling like a balloon and become aware of the whole body as one unity. And because you're aware to the whole body, of the whole body, the breath immediately will activate the whole body, feeling as if you're expanding. As if your skin is stretchable all the way to your toes, to your fingers, to your skull, everywhere is responding to your breath. And as we're breathing like this, let's add gratitude. Thank you when we inhale, thank you when we exhale. And then let's take a minute to ask ourselves, what are the most common stories we're telling ourselves with our mind? That we know they are not true, but we're still telling them. Just to be clear about it. Like I'm not good enough, like I'm not worthy, like I need to be loved, like I cannot make it. Of course, if we tell ourselves good stories, that's always more helpful than bad stories. And when we are clear about the stories, let's also remind ourselves, maybe we can feel it immediately, what are the emotional sensations that come with each story. Yeah, if, for example, a common one is I'm not good enough, where does it hit you in your body? Is it in your heart, in your solar plexus? Where do you feel the pain? Maybe the sense of being envy at somebody. And we do this just to train, to understand that those, like say, viruses, psychological viruses or tendencies, they are in the system. But we must learn to see them as tendencies, as viruses, but not something we must believe in, we must give power to. Now the issue becomes more, in a way, severe when those tendencies hit us emotionally, and then it aches, it pains. Then as a result, the mind gets even more obsessed to try to release that thought so the pain will not be so strong. So let's practice being aware of all these mechanisms, but developing the power to move out, the power to see the story of the virus as it is, and not to give it power. This is possible if we know who we are. If we know who we are the truth of who you are. If this is very clear to you, then you can see easily the illusion of those thoughts. Although it's painful, although sometimes it hits you in the stomach very, very hard, still you can move out and say, whoa, this is very strong, but still, it's not me. So just to practice, see if you can take the most, let's say, strong psychological tendencies that really, really grabs you strong when you give it power. To the point that you want to cry, to the point that you want to prove the opposite, to the point that it really unbalances you. And feel the whole effect. What's happening in your stomach, in your heart, in your mind. But then let's apply healing. Let's apply wisdom. So the first thing is to pull out of it and get back to the seat of the observer. That's first of all. The mind doesn't like this change because the mind thinks its job is to prove the opposite. If I'm not good enough, or if I'm envy at somebody, so either I make them smaller than me, or I make them bigger than them, or some kind of manipulation for the mind, so the ego can win. If the ego cannot win, we feel even worse. So when we try to pull out of all this washing machine, then the mind will resist. So that's the first kind of struggle we have to go through. Moving out and observing the struggle. Observing how the mind wants to pull back. Observing the pain in the stomach. Or any other symptom that comes as a result of this fight inside. Again, you can only be strong with that if you really firmly understand or believe in the truth. Because if you try to resolve the situation with another thought, might help, but then another thought might overcome the good thought, and again you're in a ping pong. So we're pulling back to the observer. We're pulling back to the source. We're pulling back to the space in which all this game is being played. How do we do that? We have to call the heart for help. When the mind touches the heart, it will lose its confusion, its craziness. So let's try to feel that the mind is touching the heart. They have some synchronicity now. And see if it helps remedy that pain that the negative thoughts created within us. Breathing deep and being aware of the heart, it will ease the pain. So this is step number 1. Sorry, this is step number 2. Step number 1 is to recognize. Step number 2 is to do something about it. So we're calling the heart for help, and we're aware of our heart, and we're aware of the breath, and like this we start to create space from the pain. Step number 3, we're calling the bigger space, so we can call infinity. Much bigger space than our own little person. So we can say that I'm calling the whole creation to help me deal with the suffering I'm going through or with the challenge. When we do that, we have to allow the mind to widen, to be infinitely bigger than the position of the little person. So we're still connected to the heart. We're still aware of maybe the pain and the difficulty we started with, but in the same time we're aware of immense space around us. So we're offering the mind infinity. We don't suppress the pain, we don't suppress the suffering we went or we're still in, but we change completely the angle we're connecting to that incident. So the mind is infinite, while it's still aware of the tension in our body, in our soul, in our mind maybe. Then we have to affirm who we are. And if you follow the discussion we had in the group, so this is a belief system, you can believe many things. The view I'm holding, and I feel very connected, is that I'm everything. I feel it very clear, very, very clear. Or everything is me, better saying even. This is not really a belief, this is an experience, a living experience. And that's available for all of us, obviously. We just need to expand our mind with no limitation. Let the mind be infinite, infinite. And then it becomes obvious. I am that I am. I am all there is. That's called pure consciousness. Some call it the truth. Some call it quantum field. Some call it God. But these are all names to an experience. Now, from that infinite being, which you are, that experience we started with, of pain, of psychological pain, of physical pain, might still be there. And we don't negate it, we don't suppress it. But we're connecting it as being all there is, not as being only the little person that fights with the difficulty. Hence, the power of transformation multiplies so much. So we keep this infinite being state of being. And we're connecting to that difficulty we started with, and we're inviting it to harmonize with that infinite space which we are. As we do it, we have to be very detailed on the transformation. So normally we like to invite for synchronization, let's say our emotional system, where we feel emotional pain. So we call the emotions to harmonize with infinity. And the emotions normally are held in the heart chakra or in the solar plexus normally. It can be other places, but this is most common. So we're calling these energy centers to harmonize with infinity. To harmonize with who we are. It's exactly like in the body. Let's say somebody has some blood clot and he got blood thinners. Okay, then that clot been thinned and now it's no more. Yeah, but that transformation happened in the body. Now our body, instead of being this, what we know as my body, this physical human being, our body now is the whole creation. And the clot is inside the physical form, but our body is the whole creation. So as if we're inviting that tension, that kind of dense energy manifesting as emotion, but the body is all creation. This is me, this is you, this is everything. And then we go more subtle into the energy body. And we try to see if there is any sensation, energy sensation, that doesn't feel comfortable in the physical form, in the human form, meaning that we feel vibration that is a bit heavy, or we see color that is uncomfortable feeling, but it's not on a physical level, is more subtle. And we're inviting those sensations as well to harmonize with infinity. The whole work is a work of synchronization, yeah? Between infinity, which you are, to sensation in your human form, inviting harmony. This is magical work. Okay, so ideally when we do this work, we feel that the system harmonizes and we are not so bothered anymore about this original emotional, psychological difficulty. But even if it's still there to a certain extent, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It just doesn't feel comfortable. But it doesn't matter at all. Because it doesn't change who we are. And this is what's important. Okay. From this beautiful place that we're experiencing of unity, let's invite each other to support each other, because we can help each other so much just by acknowledging that all those of us who are sharing this now space, that we are together here in a sacred temple called now. We can support each other so much because we're defining a space. And let's just feel that as a group of people, as a group of infinite being, we're supporting each other to raise vibration to the highest vibration possible, which means pure consciousness. And it's just a prayer that I'm praying that each one of you who's sharing this space will elevate vibration into complete light, complete love, complete harmony with all there is. Every breath we take, we receive those qualities. Every exhalation, we give those qualities. And like this, we're supporting each other. This sacred space never ends. It's not that we stop the meditation, the space closed. It's available because we make it available with our minds. So if you feel low, you can always hook into this connection, into this unity, and it will help you transform. And then we can invite to this beautiful, magical, healing place loved ones that they know they're having a difficult time. And we'd like to invite them to feel this beautiful vibration we are sharing so they can heal and be part of it as well. And then let's invite all beings who need support on this planet, and there are many, many. Thank you so much. Remember that we are meeting only through mind connection every morning at 7:30. If you want to join and you're not part of the group, send me a message and I'll add you to the WhatsApp group. We're meeting every Wednesday morning at 7:30 live like today, and Sunday evening like today. And then I want to encourage you to join our courses on the Infinite Being Academy. We have live courses and we have recorded courses which help you to connect to energy and to integrate energy in your work and your personal life. Beautiful. Thank you very much. Love to everybody. Bye-bye.